Alright, another day in paradise, nice and sunny. Just here on a Saturday morning, first morning of duck shooting here in New Zealand. You're going to hear a few scatterguns in the background, I'd imagine, but it's not my thing. I think I'd come and work on my car, so just thought I'd give you an update, carry on, I'll show you what I've done. So I've got my turbine outlet done. Fits in there very tight on the rings, but it's actually loose enough for movement in there. That will seal. And with the engine rocking around, with a big muffler on it, we're about to have movement there, so nothing's going to crack or break. It's just all sitting there. So this morning I thought I'd make a start. I'm trying to dimension this inlet manifold up and see how we go. I'm going to build a simple plenum off here and have my throttle body in a position around about here. And I know it looks close to the turbine housing, but that's what they make heat shielding for. I want the throttle body as far forward as I can to minimise my pipe length, intercooler pipe length. And I'm just going to put a simple symmetrical plenum on here, something like that. I'm going to bell mouth these once I've got it all sorted. And this runner length is the factory mivec high RPM runner length as opposed to the low RPM runner length. So that runner length there is designed for up to 7,500 revs. Well, it's going to be under boosted conditions. We'll see what happens. It's the calculations and Helmholtz frequency stuff starts to get a bit complicated when you add boost to it, if you want to be real technical about it. But I think I'll just stick with what the factory done. Short runners on the mivec system. That's what I've got there. So I'll make a start and have a measure up and see what I can do and go from there. Choice. So back in my day, there's some shotguns. Anyway, back in my day, they always said to me, if you read books like Corky Bill's Maximum Boost and turbocharger manuals from back in the 80s and 90s, they always said the plenum size should be 1.5 times the capacity of the motor. For me, with a 3.5 litre motor, that's a big plenum, over 4.5 litres, just from a guess. So, for terms of packaging, it's going to be smaller than 4.5 litres, I can tell you that now. I'm going to try and make a plenum. What we got? Come off here, throttle body here, and I want it to slightly angle down if I can, and it's also got to clear the rocker covers which are under here. So I've got to keep it quite low profile at the bottom side, angle it down, and it's got to go into a big size throttle body. So I'll have a measure up and start cutting some alley. Cool, man. Here's my throttle body that I got. It's what size is it? Jeez, it's 80mm. It's 80mm throttle body. It's I bought it for $20, and I know it's a cheap Chinese one. I have used them before in other people's cars, and they've been all right. I have heard stories about them leaking under boost out of the shaft seals around here. Apparently it's an easy fix. You just put some quality bearings in there, some quality seals, and everything is good as gold again. So it's solid, it's quite heavy, but for $20 in my budget, this is all I can afford. So I thought I've got a pretty good deal. So hopefully this will work out. Good one. Right, that's the basics of it. As you can see, that's what I've got. That will be the shape of the plenum. Throttle body on there. That's what I'm dealing with. So, as you can see, it's a bit wide here to here, but it's done that. I've done that on purpose, so I haven't got a sharp angle coming into the outside ports. I'm going to cut it and fold those corners in, so there's a more scientific braid flow into the runners, especially the outside ones. Alright, so this is what I've come up with. As you can see, I've rounded these corners off, made it wide so I can pull those corners in, just so it wasn't a straight line to that port, but more of a bit of a free space in there. And that's sort of the basic gist of it. And yeah, as you can see, it does slightly go up in size to the throttle body, so it's a bit bigger at this end. And I've also going to make, you probably can't see it there, but I'm making the plenum, because it's upside down, tilt downwards so that it follows the contour of the motor a bit better. And hopefully I'll have enough room under this where the rocker covers are, this is the bottom side obviously, to clear the rocker covers. I am going to have to modify one rocker cover with the oil filler spout because it's in the wrong place, but that's alright. And so yeah, so far that's the way I'm going. It's looking pretty good. Okay, so I've just been porting this manifold. I've put some bell mouths on it. They're not proper bell mouths, but I suppose you could call them pear mouths or something because they look like a pear. But yeah, it's obviously not perfect, but it's going to help a little bit. So it's all nice and rounded off. I'll just give it a clean. I think what I'll do first is I'll give this whole manifold a sandblast, get it clean, get the grit off it and dirt out of it, and then I will weld up these holes in preparation for the plenum to be put on. And I'm going to put this on and weld that piece on first so that I can do some internal welds easily, just so that it has a bit of strength and it's not just relying on welding to this cast section on the outside edge, because I'm not expecting this cast section to weld very nice. Cast aluminium never welds very nice anyway. It's always got contaminants in it, but I'm sure I'll get the job done. So, but main thing is get it clean. and I'll go from there. Cool. Alright, I've run out of time as usual. Got to go home, see the wife and kid, and so done a little bit today, but not as much as I'd hoped as usual. This is what I've got. This is sort of pretty roughly what I'm dealing with. It's sort of turning out the way I want it to. I've just given that intake a bit of a sandblast to get all the crud off it. You can see it's not lined up because the oil filler cap is in the way, but I've got another cap coming anyway, and we're going to put on the back rocker cover because obviously I'm not going to be able to access the front one easy. So that was always going to get blocked up or left alone. But this time it's going to get cut off and blocked up. So, and I've got enough room underneath to get my core packs out. Or to clear my core packs, I should say. To get the core packs out on that front back, I'm going to have to unbolt it, which is only 7 bolts, and the whole thing will pop off. So it's not the end of the world. And obviously the back bank, I can do the spark plugs easy as, but that's sort of what I'm dealing with. Something like that. And progress will continue. I will get this thing, I'll carry on with it during the week if I get time, which is a big ask, and get onto it next weekend. So that's it for now. See you later.